Yo, hello. Let's get it popping. So I'll wait for some more people to come in here, but this should be the easiest way to get a massive amount of people in here without Discord overloading itself. What's going on? What's going on? So I don't know anyone's name because you guys all have your YouTube names here instead of your Discord names. Yo, what's going on? I'll wait till a few more people coming in, so we'll get started right after that. Yeah, quality should be good. Quality should be good. I'm not exactly sure how like a lot of the things on YouTube live work yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, YouTube's probably a lot better here. Yo, Nicky Nick, what's up? It's easy to tell what's going on work here. Oh, we gotta pause. Know anyone's name because you got. I can have this playing. So I do have a stream layout for today. Should be just around 50 minutes to an hour. So at 7 p.m. PST we should be done. What would that be? 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. If you guys can't make it, hopefully I think YouTube records the whole video. If YouTube records the whole video, this is perfect. Let me pop this out. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go over the notes first so you guys understand the layout on how we're going to run the whole stream. Most of you guys' questions, I'll be coming in at the end and we can answer those, but throughout the main course, the main digestible information, I won't be answering many questions during this because I want to get through it fairly quickly. And then at the end, we'll go over you guys' coins, portfolio questions, whatever else you guys have. All right, so content for the stream. First off, the number one thing I want to go over is, it was a pretty funny moment in chat. I just want to go over the math behind recovering from losses and the reason why this is exponential. So I'm going to ask you guys a question again here soon, and we'll see what the general sentiment is around the answer to this question, because there's a lot of people arguing about it. So we'll get into that, and this should be very quickly for me to explain this to you guys and why it matters and makes sense. But you guys probably know what we're gonna be talking about there. Next up, we'll be going over the past plays, which ones went right, what went right with them, what went wrong with them. Specifically, we'll be talking about BNB. I don't even know if there's any others to talk about. IOST is spot, so I don't think I need to go over that one. If there's any others of the past plays you want to go over, the only main one for me was BNB. And then current market sentiment, as always. Then after current market sentiment for Bitcoin, we'll be going over the top outperforming coins during the dip and why I keep talking about these, keep hammering these to you guys. Atom, One, FTM, and Link. Go over some of the shit coins that are moving. So as you guys know, Internet Computer Protocol is moving. ICP, SRM, and then EOS. and then finish off with questions. And then we'll go over, I'll list like 5 of your coins like we did last time. And then we'll go over NFTs because they're booming right now, and I'll explain why they're actually booming. And then we'll go over some tips for surviving the dumps that I hammer on you guys every single time that there's a dip, and how you need to proceed to better protect yourself. Yeah, so we're really going over again. So the main thing, like the only question is, guys, if your coin goes up 500%, all right? If your coin goes up 500% and then it comes down 100%, are you profitable in your trade or are you not? And it's okay if you don't know this question and you don't understand the answer to it. This is why we're going to explain it here. But the general sentiment, right, is, thank God, the correct answer. If your coin, let's actually list this out on the screen for you guys. Let's show you this. Let's look up USDT to USD. All right. So if you have, let's see how hard it is to go to $2 there. All right, guys, this is probably going to be it's going to blow some of your minds, and some of you are like, why are we going over this still? But this has to be gone over because some people don't understand it. So let's say you buy into something at $1, right? You buy in USD at $1. This goes to $2, right? You've made 100% profit. This is understandable. We all understand that this is what occurs. Now, in the event that this goes back to $1, so it goes from $2 to $1, how much have you lost? So I'll wait for you guys to answer in the chat. If you've made 100% profit, right? You bought into an asset at $1, it goes to $2, and then it goes back to where your entry is. How much have you lost? There's only one answer to this. There's no refuting this. You've lost nothing, right? Again, if you have 100% gain, it goes back to your entry, all you've done is lost half. You've lost half of the realized gains. If anyone doesn't understand this, please tell me, but it should be hammered in everyone's head, and we don't need to go over it anymore. Now, if you've lost 100% since you're doubling, it does not matter. The asset has gone to 0. You've lost everything. You're down bad. Holy shit, there's a lot of different answers here. So those of you asking what's not to understand about this, there was a lot of wrong answers. So it's for those people that want to answer this for. I want to make sure you guys, a lot of you think that this is like very common sense, and which it very well should be, but a lot of people on Twitter didn't know it when I asked them. A lot of people in Discord didn't know it either. So anyways, you guys understand it. You've made 100% profit. If the asset loses 100% of its worth, you've lost all of your money completely. You haven't lost half. You're not break even. You've lost everything. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter if you're on futures, equity. Doesn't matter if you're trading a leverage, margin. None of it matters. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to move past this question since some of you might not still understand it, but most of you have the right answer here. Now, on to the next ones, right? The impact of losses and why over time recovering from a loss becomes exponential. And this is something to review because a lot of you who are playing in the crypto market, we have major swings where coins are going 40-50% in a week, right? And if you just keep hodling these coins and they're not selling to strength like I'm hammering for you guys to do consistently, right? The gain you need to recover from the loss grows more and more over time as the asset loses value. So, as we just discussed, if you're trading Bitcoin, it goes up 100%, and you didn't take any profits, it comes back down 50%. To get your unrealized gain back, you're going to need 100% back. I mean, this diagram, some of you need to print this on the wall, because especially when we're in the bear market and we're having these volatile downtrends, 30%, 40% down on a day, some of you need to print this out, put it on your wall, because holding losses over the long term exponentially works against you, and you have to average down consistently in order for you to get back to break even faster. All right, next up, I don't want to go over the basics behind these too much because it's common sense to a lot of us. Those of you who don't understand it too much, send me a DM. We'll go over it privately, but I don't want to shun you guys too much here. Next up, all right, so we're going to go over the past plays. I think the only one I need to go over, which is my heaviest one, which is BNB. What went right with it, what went wrong with it, and how you recover from it next time, and don't make the same mistake. I think the stream comments are coming a little bit late, but it's all right. So first off, we're going to go over BNB. It was pretty much my main trade. At least it was the heaviest trade that I was in for like the entirety of the week. I think you guys know why I was in this trade. I don't think we have to go over the entry, but we have to go over what happened after, why I took the loss on it, so we can all learn from this one. All right, so first things first. During the trade with BNB, we had some like major upswings too. So there's several times I had an average of around 132. I'm gonna mark this on the charts here. 132. Mark it right here. So this is gonna be considered just where my average range was for my entry. All right, BNB overall had probably one of the sickest setups in the entire market. Unfortunately, as we know, everything that has a sick setup ended up nuking itself after the Bitcoin nuke. You know, 10, 20, 50% on some of these altcoins. So it's pretty brutal, but we'll go over some of the good things first, and then we'll cover the bad things and how we recover from them. So some of the good things with BNB to start off with, we had some major gains to begin with. I was up several $1,000s within the first day of this. Got very greedy, most likely because I was hitting that 100% win rate month just the month before. So I was like, yeah, we'll run this out a little bit more. We had, I want to say it was about 2%. Actually, wait, this is wrong. It was over here because we bought before this move here. So it was right here. I want to say it was about a 2 to 2.5% move. It was very small, but I was heavy in this trade, as I told you guys. So the gains were there very quickly. I didn't take them. I even have a screenshot of the gains too. Unfortunately, got greedy with it. Didn't average down at the right moment for this to come back to break even and sell before the trend. So number one mistake, had profits, was up above 2%. Didn't move stops to break even, wanted to let the trade run. I did have very high conviction in this trade. So unfortunately, high conviction comes want to hold it longer, not take the gains off the table. That's where the greed comes in. So first mistake was not selling at the highs that we got. One of the second mistakes that I had definitely was when I did hit my average down at the bottom here. We hit the average down near the 505 limit, right? This brought my average near, I want to say 512 to 514. We had the recovery bounce from the exact level too, right? The exact same level over time. Right at $500. We had the bounce. I had profits again. Still didn't sell them. So that was two different times where I had my profits. Didn't sell it. Greed twice. And then we evidently had the market nuke, which took us down to the bottom. Now, one of the best things that I did, and we'll find this here. One of the best things that I did was before the nuke, ended up selling a majority of the position. So I'll find this right here and put it up on the screen. So it's taken a while. I think I was sitting in the BNB trade for roughly 2 days or 3 days, expecting some volatile movements from 500 bucks, which we got consistently over time. And I was expecting it for the next bounce, which we got. Didn't sell towards the top. So first mistake, not selling into strength, especially when you come off a hot month. Got to keep your discipline consistent across the board. Don't let your emotions keep you greedy throughout the entire trend, especially when we were like hitting near these low levels, because we still had, you know, we had a higher high here and then a lower high, lower high, lower high. So consistently the entire trend was bearish throughout the next 2 days that I was in the trade. Didn't take anything off the table until I think literally the last day or the same day as price was nuking. Let me find it here. Where was this? January 5th. Oh, here it is. Took me a while to find. This was the best part of the entire thing because I was able to literally reduce almost all of my losses from this. So this was probably the only good thing about the trade is it got towards the end of the range here, right? Gets towards the end of the range. I was only down about 1.65%, which was the gains previously. Ended up selling majority of the position, got under $500. limit averages that I had at 495 and 485 became more effective, so it brought my average under 500 bucks. So this is probably the best thing. However, nuke went past the averages, so the best thing to do in this case was probably to sell the entire position. If we did sell the entire position, we'd be sitting a lot better with the limit averages that we had. Did not end up doing that. So a few things to take away from this. Good things. Sold before the nuke. Absolutely beautiful. Sold majority. Probably should have sold the entire position, as $500 was the most key level over the last, I want to say, 150 days. 138 days was the most key level, right? As soon as these major key levels that are held on this high of a time frame for this long of a duration get broken, usually extremely volatile, which it was, right? We had the nuke for 12% on Bitcoin and then 12% on BNB as well. We'll go over where it's at right now and what my next plan of action is. And as you can see from this trend line, you know, there's only a few things that can happen here, and this is taking bids into the market. A lot of people scared to buy at these lows here, which is definitely fair. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. Liquidations are, I want to say, hit 1 billion in a day in the past 23 hours. So you're at the point where a lot of long traders have been liquidated. A lot of long traders no longer have leverage anymore to use because they got to refill the accounts up. Short traders have made all of their profit. Look at this on Bitcoin. Short traders have made all of their profit over the last, I want to say 8 days, 14 days here. Over the last 2 weeks, straight downtrend no matter what. Short traders, I want to say, are exhausted, happy with the gains, and ready to start bidding up once again. Now, if there's any questions about BNB, hit me with them now. I think it's fairly straightforward. Good things. We were able to sell majority position before the nuke. Bad things, still held on to it, and we didn't take our profits early. If we're up over 2% on a leverage position, trim the position up, stops to break even. You'll never lose. Unfortunately, did not do that this time. I was doing it all December. Didn't hit this time. Let the greed get the best of us. We'll move forward from it. But now I'm in bidding mode, right? Now I'm back in bidding mode. I mean, we have 15 to 20% discounts across the market. So when a lot of people ask me, what's the next coin that you're buying, or like, what should I be buying right now? You're buying the coins that you've been wanting to buy, or the coins that you were buying at all-time highs before, and you can get them on a discount now. Again, the goal is to accumulate at the lows. If you get the lows and you're not accumulating, it's either because you want to play it safe, wait for the confirmation, which is great. If you take advantage of the lows, use the DCA method where you're buying slowly over time. Now, moving past BNB, we're going to the full market analysis on Bitcoin, where it's at. I posted this one time already, but I want to explain it to you guys over voice on what I think is going to happen next and what we should do going into this. And we'll compare it to the previous May crash as well. Also, if you put any of your questions in the Discord, I won't be able to see them. So just put them, type them out on YouTube. I'll be able to see all your questions. I don't see anything. I don't see any questions right now. Can you go over AXS? Yes, we'll go over AXS. We do it at the end. So all the questions for coins we'll go over at the end. What does it mean when you're bidding? You're buying, right? You're bidding on price. Bidding just means that you're getting ready to buy. Now, the first thing I want to go over is May, right? The most relevant one, and this is pretty much what everyone in the market is looking at right now. This is exactly what I am referencing. This fractal in price, when we had the nuke from previous all-time highs, right? We took a 50% dip over the market. I mean, if you're dipping 50%, this is something has changed fundamentally, or you've entered a temporary bear market and the bids have to start coming in and you got to start buying prices. Now, the reason I want to go over May and I want to correlate it to today, the start of January, is because the fractal price is very, very similar. And there's a few more things besides the May fractal and the September dip that I want to go over. And we'll start with it right now. So the first thing is, in May, you have the dip, you have the massive correction. Shorts are getting absolute money for like 2-3 weeks straight, and then you have range. And that's where you want to pay attention the most. As you're knifing through every single day, I mean, we had over a week. This was an ugly week too. We had 10 days where the average daily loss, I think, was 6 to 8%. Yeah, there's 11% days back to back here. Now, you don't want to buy into these knives. You want to hope to catch in the bounces. you might be able to catch one of these daily candles and bounce it back to the top, but the next 2 days you'll lose everything, right? So you're in a scalping market, you're here to make fast profits when you're trading in these. But once you get to a range, right? Once you establish a range, it usually takes 3 to 4 days to do this. That is when you can start forming your analysis and forming your conviction behind your next play. Now in May, a few things happen. You get the massive wick from the last knife. If we look over here, this is the exact range we're in right now. You get the massive wick from the last knife that occurs, and then the market stagnates. This is your low of range here. And then you form your top range before you get your first nuke, which is to the low of the range. I mean, this is, the fractal works, the price in this fractal works almost identical. Also, the 200 EMA is fairly identical here as well. So I don't want to say the exact same thing is going to play out, but fractionalizations in price rhyme consistently over time, and this is what I want to pay attention to the most. As you can see, you get the first new candle, and then you range above 50% of the candle here. So you range above, you tap the 200 EMA once. I mean, I can't make this up on like how similar these two price fractals are. It's almost scary how similar they are. And I want to go over another thing after this on why sometimes it being so similar might not be to our benefit, but we'll go over the similarities first. Taps the 200 EMA once, taps the 200 EMA once, and then you have your subsequent nuke that takes over the entire range to range low, and actually where you fill the wick, right? And that's what everyone was waiting for. Let's fill the entire wick here. And that's what happened. So you filled the entire wick after the nuke. And as you can see, this is a 4% deviation from the bottom. 4.36% deviation from the bottom of the wick. I'll keep this noted on the screen for you guys. So as we can see here, the wick was filled, and then we had more capitulation in price after. So shorts come in, heavy shorts push the market down past the wick, most likely stopping out a lot more traders, because traders are opening up towards the bottom of the range, and they think they have a very easy invalidation point where they can put their stop losses. Now, if tons of traders are placing stop losses right below this wick here, it creates something that the market wants, and that's liquidity, right? So all these big players want liquidity in order for them to mark price up and fill their entire positions, and that's exactly what happened. A lot of traders who put their stop losses right below these wicks got wicked out in one single day, probably within, I think it was an hour. 1 hour, all the wicks were taken out, a ton of liquidations in this capitulation candle, and then price marks itself back up, holds the bottom of the range, and then you get your full markup after the third tap on the bottom of the range. Now, the reason this matters is because we're getting very close to fulfilling the second part of this, right? And the second part of this range here, I'll have them both in screen so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. The second part of this range is filling the bottom side of this wick, capitulating below it, right? At least 3 to 4% has to be somewhere within a range. 2 to 4% is completely fine. As long as we're below the wick, we take out more liquidity in the market and we can mark the price back up. Now, again, let's just go over and look at these two candles and the exact price action that we're expecting from this. As we can see in May, it was very strong. May was down 50% from all-time highs. We're only sitting about like 39% down from all-time highs right now. Let's check this completely. So the discounts in May were a lot better than they were today. Yeah, 39% discount from all-time high today. In May was a lot more, so we had a lot more buying pressure. This is why it only took one single day to take the candle back out of the range. Right now we've closed one candle in the range, 2 daily candles in the range, and now we have our third one that opened up about 2 hours ago. So 2.5 hours ago, a new daily candle opened up. Bullish right now, at least. We had a doji on the previous one, so an indecision candle from a lot of traders not understanding what to do, which is completely fine. A lot of people want to keep their money safe and wait for validation. So this is what I'm expecting next. I posted about this in the Discord as well. We get the manipulation under the range, right? Manipulation under range, same thing that happened in May. I'm going to color code these. Manipulation under the range, take out more stops from traders who open longs at the wick fill, provide more liquidity to the market, and then mark price back up and into the trend again. Like the key here is falling back into the majority of the trend. We want to come back up past the previous wick, right? Past the previous low of range and get some nice signs of strength. Some type of movement that takes us back to the mid-range, as it did here. It took us back to the mid-range, back down, and then we held the mid-range. So there's a few key limits here. I'm gonna list these on the screen. These are going to be the pretty much the supply zones where the majority of the traders are going to start selling again. And this is important because if you guys understand where the majority of the market is going to start selling again, you're not going to make the same mistake you did last time and not sell into strength. Same thing we did with Solana. Like Solana, sold into strength. AVAX, Luna, we sell into the all-time highs. Holding into the all-time highs, sometimes it'll be good if you're in major profits, but if you've just entered 10, 15, 20% away from the current price level, gotta take profits into the highs, especially the all-time highs. Now, and this is within the next week, like this analysis that's about to occur and I'm about to say what I expect should happen within the next 7 days. Anything longer than that, I think that the market is exhausted and buyers are waiting for new lows, because if you're off 40% from all-time highs on Bitcoin and buyers haven't started coming in yet, they're expecting lower prices. So if the majority of the whale buyers in the market who aren't marking price up aren't bidding with you, you should be taking either scalp profits or getting out and waiting for the volume to come back in. So I want to say, at least by Sunday, I don't want more daily candles to close under this. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this daily candle should be above the low of the range here. And this is where you guys should be bidding, right? If you guys want to get into your entries, if you guys want entries on practically anything, right? We'll go over the alts that I think that you guys should have entries on. Bitcoin right now, this is where you bid. This is where you bid. The risk to reward on shorts, it's not there anymore. 2% to the downside, maybe 5% if you come to the wick of September that hasn't been filled yet. The upside range, I mean, you're sitting on over 10% to 11% to the upside. This is where you start bidding. Now, majority of the market and the majority of the social sentiment that I've seen, there's bids here. There's bid walls here. Coinbase has a massive wall at the lows. This is the range that you're buying in. Nothing else other than this. If you're not buying the lows, you gotta wait for confirmation, the upside. If you want the true confirmation, look at this. You wait for the lows, the manipulated lows, to mark up to the mid-range where you can start shorting again. Mark up to the mid-range, exactly where you can start shorting. And this is a 10-11% move. 10-11% moves on Bitcoin. You know, these are getting, you know, supply comes in at every range here. Whales are taking the profit. So if this occurs, you start selling profits, especially on your alts into this range and on your Bitcoin longs if it's something you have. After this, we're going to expect supply to come back down. Hopefully, right, to a nice slow bleed, just like we had over here. This one was very beautiful. I actually have a video on this where we, you know, bought the bottom here in May, which is absolutely amazing. I'm expecting the exact same thing again, but on the third tap, if you want to wait for this one, you're not too confident in the second tap here in this manipulated zone to range back up 10-11% to the mid-range here, which is about $47,000 flat. Right, price should come up to 47K within the next week, or this entire trend is invalid. And this fractal in price, I wouldn't pay attention to anymore. So should be within 7 days here, and then come back down. Now on the third test, this is when you put the risk on. As soon as you get the third test of this range, the exact same fractal in price that we had in May, this is where you put the risk on. So I don't expect this to be major. We've already had 2 daily candles close under this. So there is less strength in the market than there was in May. Of course, we're, you know, off less than 10% than the discounts that we had in May. So not as good of a discount than, you know, that buyers may want, but still a discount enough for them to start buying. Now, I went over another key element. I want to pull this up real quick, which was the time frame in days since the second test. I think we have about 30 more days, so about a month left. This pulls us out to February 8th, where I'm just using the same time frames that we had back then because they still line up and they rhyme fairly well. We had about a month within range until the second tap, and we had about a month and some change until the second tap. So the timelines, I usually don't like to use the timelines, but if the fractal is this perfect, we're going to use it. So we had about a month from the lowest wick to the second tap, and then you have another month until the third tap. So a lot of time to wait in between the market fully correcting here. However, there's a lot of opportunities within that time. Buying Bitcoin now up into 47K, selling or shorting from 47K back down to 42K, where you get the third tap. In the third tap, again, this should not, I need to clarify here what we're expecting from the third tap, because this is truly truly, if this occurs again, is where, you know, you should be onsetting more risk than normal, as this is where the phase begins for the major markup where we hit all-time highs before. I don't think we'll hit all-time highs again, but I do think that we break the range. Third tap comes in, falls below the first wick, but doesn't fall below the second tap. So you produce a higher low, and that's exactly what I expect here. Boom, boom. Manipulate the lows. Do not crush below 41K or it's invalid, right? I think the fractal rhymes fairly well here. And then you start bidding hard. Does anyone have a question? I mean, this is, a lot of people have this exact sentiment. I think the whole market is looking at this exact same fractal in price right now. It is lined up too perfectly for it not to be the case yet, at least for a small relief bounce. Maybe we don't get the 47K relief bounce, but this is where the relief bounce occurs and where you start entering your trades for Bitcoin, at least. I'm going to assume everyone, for the most part, understands this analysis. I'm going to go over the next thing, which is the September lows, right? Every single year, 2021 and 2020, September, the early part of September is not too good for all markets. It's not good for legacy markets. It's not good for crypto markets either. And as we can see, from September 7th down to the end of September, 23 days, you lose another 22% of the entire value in Bitcoin. Now, this one's a little bit easier because you did have the 200 EMA get broken out for the previous trend. High of range here was also at the exact same period that the PB EMA was breaking. Break, retest, and then you get your nice markup through August. August is always a great month for crypto, so shout out everyone with birthdays in August. You get paid, and then as soon as September hits, it's not too fun for you guys. So maybe the month after, maybe going to Halloween's a little bit better for you guys. But this was perfect. I'm not sure that we'll get this exact same trend. Looks very similar here, but if we get something like this, mark price, risk on, break range again, retest, break range, we'll have the EMA somewhere near the mid-range here, so we'll understand exactly where the supply is. If it falls below the 41 or 40K, it's invalid. So I think that we still, I mean, again, this dropped almost 4.5% from the second tap of the range low. We've only fallen, I want to say, 2% so far. $3.27%. So we're actually pretty much there at like the max deviation that we had from the previous trend. So in the event that we do come up, test the mid-range, right? This is where you guys should be selling. Like, keep this in mind, like 47K, you are selling in this range here. Anywhere from 46 to 47K, it's only $1,000 difference. It's not much. This is where you start selling the longs that you have produced now. And then you can get your longs back or short back down to the other limit. So I want to go for the risk. A few of the risks. Oh wait, there's one more positive here. One more positive. It's the September. I didn't finish the September narrative. September produced probably one of the strongest support levels as of recently. And this is what started the all-time high run. And this was at 40K, which coincidentally is the exact same price level we're at right now. You get the bear market from May, mark up into the end of August, and then September sells off 22%. And the entire, market makers who have their positions from the lows sell them off in September. Also legacy markets, the stock market sold off during this exact same time. And then you produced one of the, it's insanely strong. This was a 9 days of daily candles playing within the same range on the daily 200 EMA, and this is what caused the major markup, 67% move into the previous all-time high at 69K. So this is why I think that there's just too many confluences at this key level right here. You have the manipulation of the lows, the same fractal as you do have in May. You have the support from September that pushed you up into all-time highs. With all of these confluences put together, it's hard for me to want to short this range. I know there's a lot of people still shorting the range. I hope they do well, but for me, I don't see any reason to short this. Also, if you guys want to use indicators, obviously we don't need to go into this, but every oscillation on a high time frame is completely oversold and is in the buy signal position. The daily, the 2-day, the 3-day, and of course the weekly. I don't know where the monthly's at. Even the monthly's at lows. So we are at COVID lows right now. So the RSI on the weekly, I think the daily as well, we're at COVID lows. So we've never been lower. before COVID. This is past 2 years. It's crazy. COVID's been 2 years. We have never been lower in the RSI in the past 2 years. Take it for what you will. I don't think it holds too much value, but something to note on the sentiment that current market's in. So longs that Bitcoin right now up into the 46 to 47K range. What else are you going to do? Are you going to short this range? Are you going to short the September support? Are you going to short the range highs of May support? There's too much for me at this level. There's too much at this level for me to say, yeah, I'm going to short this, right? I think I already missed my whole opportunity to short when we were at the mid-range. Should have shorted the mid-range and understood the fractalization in price. Also, this was probably the most major that we should have understood, and we were selling into profits here, but didn't take short positions, was the retest of the PB daily EMA after we broke down from it in, what was this, December. So December you break down, and then you literally come back up and retest it. Picture perfect. This was the place to short because, of course, on the 4-hour too, this lined up perfectly. You have, what is this? Right here. Sorry, we went a little bit too far. Right here. So this is the range. The 4-hour 200 EMA, which I think holds more strength than the daily at most times. You have it rejecting price consistently. You have the double top in price. And then you have the daily showing the exact same thing in buyer exhaustion for about 5 days. So I think I missed my short opportunities, but I'm not going to miss my long opportunities at the current levels. So does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand the fractal in price, the rhyming between the May and the current price action from all-time highs, the fact that we're under the 200 EMA, the fact that we do have a manipulation from the lows here, such as we had in May, nearly the same possible percentage discrepancy, 4% in May, about 3.25% now. I'll assume everyone understands that. Now we're going to the next part. So that took majority of the time, but it's something that you guys all need to understand. The possible relief rally we're going to have in the week ahead. Now we'll go over the top performing coins. Probably should be the favorite one here, right? All the coins I've been hammering, the dips that you're buying, right, are the coins that outperform Bitcoin and ETH and actually have had no dips, right? They have a dip and they recover. They have a dip and they recover. So here we go. This should be fairly easy to look at, right? And why we're looking at these coins. First off, we got Harmony 1. Absolutely beautiful token. We've been buying this since the lows at 17 cents to 22 cents, even at the range highs here. Been buying it consistently. Here's the first dip. You took a 20% dip. Within 2 days later, what is this? It's a little bit more than 2 days. Actually, yeah, this is 3 days here. Within 3 days, you've recovered the entire price action. This shows strength. We'll go for some coins that don't show strength, such as BNB didn't have this exact occurrence. We'll do it right now, actually, just to show you guys. Here's BNB. Here's BNB during the nuke. No recovery, no break of new highs. Here's Harmony 1. Recovery, stagnation at highs. If you were to buy this before the nuke, you're at break even. Same thing with Chainlink. Same thing with Cosmos. Cosmos even hit all-time highs or near all-time highs again. Same thing with FTM. FTM even is at a very key level for buyers. I mean, if you've been looking to produce a position in FTM, right now is the time, right? If you're wanting to build a position in FTM, right now is the time. 200 EMA in the 4-hour, it has been murdered. I don't know what the loss has been, but almost a 30% loss on a very strong asset class. These are the ones you focus on. And the reason we focus on the strength in the market is because this shows us where buyers are moving to. When there's weakness, this means that there's money outflow. When there's money outflow, money has to go somewhere else. So we figure out what other coins in the market are demanding the supply that came from Bitcoin and the majors and are getting pushed back up in price during the bear dips. Harmony 1. It is at the same price it was during the dip. Chainlink, it's at the same price. Atom, I think it's above the price that it was at. These are the coins that demand buyers, and they get buyers every single time. So these are the ones we want to focus on. Also NEAR, we've gone over this one many times. If you do not have NEAR, you don't have exposure to NEAR. We've been pushing this one since it's been sitting above the highs. Same thing, it did hit all-time high on the day of the nuke. Day of the nuke, near, into a 22% burst up into all-time highs. Actually, it filled the wick on the spot charts for Binance. Near, Adam, we should write these out. Actually, I do have them written out. These are the ones to focus on. If you want alts and you're looking for strong altcoins during this market, these are the ones you look at. This is your watch list. Atom, Harmony One, Phantom, Chainlink, and Near. All right. And then some of the shit coins, obviously we'll go over these. I think the majority, the one I saw today was actually ICP, which is probably the biggest shit coin in the market. But hey, shit coins can still move and still show strength. ICP up for the day, 5%. I think it was up a little bit more from the range lows. Well, 14% here. So I'm not going to go over and like shill like the terrible tokenomics. Oh, we have it right here. Yeah, how convenient is this? Here are the terrible tokenomics when we warned at 150 bucks on why ICP should not be a buy. At the lows, one of the things you'll see when money outflows out of the market, Bitcoin dominance lose a little bit of strength. Pretty much any alts will start pumping. I don't think, we'll check this. I don't know how much more room we have until like the major supply is hit here. Oh, 7%. So there's still a lot of room. ICP still has a lot of room to run here. You're on the 8-hour 200. It's had a bit of strength here. Over time, it's shown that this is the trend that's going to follow, bear trend for pretty much its entire lifetime. If you're trading ICP and you're trading it in longs, you have about 8% more to go until you have to start trimming your profits again. And we'll get into it at the end why this is one of the most sustainable techniques to continually trading and making profits month to month, even when you're in a bear market. Coinbase needs to get down when we'll read the comments right here. Why do you think it's easier for traders to buy than sell in a market? Because you guys want to keep holding, right? The epitome of hodl, like hodling. I think it's a terrible slogan that was built in the market because it produces traders to become lazy and continually hold throughout massive gains they produce, lose the gains by just hodling, right? Hodl to the moon. I think it's a terrible slogan. I think it's a terrible philosophy that was put in the market, right? Because you'll outperform every single holder by buying at the lows where they're buying, selling literally just into strength. If you have a 15-20% day on your asset and you're not selling, I'm not sure what you're doing either. I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning behind that is. Don't hodl, right? I should be the spokesperson say, you don't hodl. You don't hold these coins for life. You don't marry these coins and hope they go 5,000x. Some of them might. However, it is very emotionally damaging to believe this and it will hurt your portfolio at the same time. So that's why I truly believe it is easier for people to buy, because if they think that they'll sell and the coin's going to go up another 20%, and then as soon as it's up another 20%, they want to buy it again because they think it's going to go another 20% and they missed out. And oh my God, this is a very, very toxic trait to have as a trader. And I know a lot of us here have experienced this themselves. If you've experienced this, just like drop me a thumbs up in chat, because I've experienced it personally myself. Whenever I would sell an asset and would go like 40% the next day, I'd be like, fuck, I could have made another 40%. Why did I sell? Right? And then I buy back at the highs and then it drops 30% and I just lost all my gains from that coin. So again, long-term success is selling continually over time. I mean, you have to get comfortable selling. All right, so majority of the stream that you should take away is longs, buying Bitcoin right now. I don't know about Ethereum. I'm mostly focusing on the Bitcoin chart because the fractal is just perfect for me right now. I think the stream might be delayed. I don't know how delayed the stream is. But yeah, a lot of you guys agree with this. Damn, the stream is definitely delayed. Sorry. But yeah, it's a toxic trait, guys. We want to buy the strength, selling the strength again. Like ICP, if you're trading ICP, you're selling in the next 8 to 9%. And don't be ashamed if that does occur to you, where you buy into those 40% rips after selling it because you're a little bit FOMO-ish and you want to make your money back or make more because you sold too early. Don't feel bad that that happens to you. It happened to me all the time when I first started out. It's a very common trait. Actually, it's probably one of the most common traits. The best thing to do though is if you can understand that this is something that occurs to you, take the profits a little bit faster. Take the profits, man. If you get massive candles, take the profits. Anyways, next up on the stream, we went over ICP SRM. I think I put SRM here because it's moving for the day. It might be up 6%. I don't know if we'll have to go into these. No, it is not moving. But it's at a low. If you want SRM, you're producing your higher low right now. This could actually be a really good trade too. I might take longs on SRM. I'll take a long SRM right now. The chart is prime time. You're buying at the lowest point. It's $3 for SRM right now. $30-second delay, that's all right. Whatever. The 30-second delay we'll deal with. We'll move to Zoom if it truly some of the information I give you guys is like not paramount in the second for you guys to get. SRM, some of these coins when you get them at these low lows. Like I remember I was buying SRM at $5. We ran it to 10. It's crazy to see this though. In SRM, you have a 10% move until you come up to your next deviation level here. Yeah, we'll go over the SSL. Most of the questions you guys have, we'll do them all at the end too, because we'll have more time for it too. Yeah, you can definitely put into equity here. I mean, I just like where the low is at. Like, this is a quick play. If SRM's up 5% by the end of the stream, you're definitely selling by that point too. So SRM, I want to go over, and there's one more. I think it was EOS. When the shit coins start pumping. And EOS is actually pretty much the exact same thing. You've produced the higher low here. I don't know exactly how much I like EOS. It looks like we have the 3 drives. So you have the 1, 2, 3 drives, and then into the breakout. You can even call this. You definitely have the falling wedge here. So potential breakout. I think someone actually already bought this. Who bought this? Yeah, someone already bought. Glacier Boy just bought this. Anyways, where did he buy it? 278. He's already up. Yeah, he's up 1%. So practically at the same entry you got it at. Exactly $3. Big discount on SRM right now. Not that I like it the most. I'd probably rather play Bitcoin on leverage more than anything. But hey, if you get the discount on SRM, take the discount, because we were buying this shit at $6 before. It is down 50% since then. Yeah, Glacier just bought it. All right, so those are the 2 shitcoins. I don't want to spend much time, but the shitcoins, better charts, you get them at discounts. We did this in December. We literally just bought the strongest coins in December that had 15 to 20% dips, and then we made 60, 70, 100%, 1,000% on leverage on some of them, right? And when these dips occur, like, that is practically what you're going to need to do to either make up some of the losses from the downturn that you occurred on equity, right? Or the losses that you occurred on futures, and you can easily make them back. 2, 3, 4% is a nice dead cat bounce to get back in. But again, the dead cat bounces comes right back down after that. All right, next up on the stream, question time. Yeah, so that was it. So the main things we went through on the first one: impact of losses, recovering from a loss is exponential all the time, especially if you're on futures going minus 30% to minus 40%. You're going to need a 67% move, a 43% move to get back to break even. It's exponential, guys. Next up, we went over the past plays. We went over BNB, what went wrong with my BNB play, what went right, why we should have took profits when we had them, up several thousand on it. Then we went over the current sentiment in the market. Very easy with the current sentiment in the market. I think that longs are literally the only thing that favors it. I had longs last night, sold it before I slept. We had a 3% dip. Could have took advantage of the dip there. But most of the market right now, you have dips across. If you're an equity trader, if you were taking profits when we were in the beginning of January to the late December, when we were selling literally everything. Let's pull it up here. Spell at a 50% discount. We'll go over spell too. It's up to you guys now for questions. Slam them on me. There's a few in here I got to get. Send them in again. This is your guys' time now. We'll pick 5. We'll do 5 to 6 coins, right? 5 to 6 coins. We'll check them out. We'll see what you guys think. If I already went over them, there's no point to do them again. I see Rose and SXP here. We'll do Rose. We'll do Swipe. We'll do Spell too. I also wanted to go over Olympus DAO. Olympus DAO, all-time lows have been hit. I think this is at least all-time low. I'm not sure. This might not be the best chart to actually exemplify the previous price, but hey, Ohm is near all-time lows here. I have a few buddies who are very heavy in this. Take advantage of them now. All right, so your guys' coins, let's list them out here. You guys, the first one I saw was Spell. The next one I saw, SXP. And then we had Rose. I like Rose a lot. Rose is a good one to go over because this is one of my buys soon. FTM, we already did FTM. It's one of the strong coins. You buy these strong coins. Wax. Oh my God, Cardano. I really don't want to go over Cardano. CRV, MATIC. That's probably about it. Someone said the best chart to look at for Olympus is actually on, is it Sushi Swapped? Olympus. Maybe it's this one. I don't know which one has the most data in it. You guys said Olympus die. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is not all-time lows yet. So this is probably the best chart because it says, geez, Olympus loses 90% value in 21 days, only to recover the entire allotment of value in, what is this? Probably another week. So you lose 88%. And then as soon as you mark price up, you gain 7x price. Fantastic, right? I think it's probably a good buy here soon. I don't like doing technicals on these DAOs because I don't think that you can rely on them. But if you are to go over the technicals, I mean, you broke a key level here. I think that at least with the rebasing, if I'm not mistaken, you lose, if you're able to lose roughly, the rebase is at 200,000 APY, rebases every day. I think it's 20% is like the key. You can lose 20% of the asset value and still be profitable with the interest you make on it. Okay, more coins. Let's see. MATIC, we have it. CRV, you have it. DUSK, we'll go over DUSK, IOTA, and then Bitcoin dominance, and then we'll finish up the stream. IOTA, DUSK, and then Bitcoin dominance to finish up. And then we'll talk about NFTs, and then I'll give you guys the tips because if you're new, guys, the tips that I give for these dips are going to keep you alive every single time. Because if you were losing majority of your profits from the month before in a single dip, you're doing something wrong immediately. Because these dips are a part of the market. It is a feature of the market. So if you're losing profits from an entire backdated month, something's wrong. Something's completely wrong. And it's okay to be wrong at first. If you guys are new in this, you're trading heavy leverage, right? You're trading heavy leverage, you get a 20% dip, you're on 5x, that's 100% loss in the margin that you invested in the play. All right, we'll start with Spell. So Spell is one of the, I don't want to say it's like one of the top plays in Lucci's recent playbook, but it's a good one. As I don't know too much about the Spell ecosystem or the fundamentals behind Spell. All I know is people are hyped about it. Apparently there's a few NFT protocols behind it. One of the major things I see immediately with Spell at the current price is POC, right? We have a major volume POC here. Previously, this was pretty much the key zone. I mean, this was the most important zone. Breakout, retest, and something happens here. I'm sure this is when they're developing inverse head and shoulders into the breakout, and then you're here. Yes, Spell's a great buy here. So if you don't have Spell and you're following the playbook for this one, you're getting it at almost half off. Yeah, spells a buy. 100%. If you are able to get any token that you have a very high conviction on at half off, yeah, you just instantly buy it. You should chat the top chat to live chat. I have no idea what that means. Oh shit. There it is. Hopefully that is live. That probably made more sense to do. Thank you. We'll get better with the YouTube lives. I think it's probably the best thing for us to do anyways. Anyways, yeah. First thing, spell. Definitely buy 50% off the highs. SXP. One of Binance's favorite tokens. Near all-time. Yeah, this is 52-week lows here. And the dip was insane. Also a buy. And it's actually such an easy invalidation. 10 to 11%. I mean, I'd say you have a 7% max loss here before the next wick down. Yeah, spell definitely buy. SXP. I'd say that this isn't one of my high convictions whatsoever. I think it's been an eternal downtrend for, what is this, August? Yeah, this thing's been in a downtrend since August. Not this. I think that you get at a good discount if it's a conviction play for you, but it's not something I would buy. But this, if you are to be a high conviction player with XXP, you buy it now. Not something I want to buy. The downtrend's been too long. I don't think there's been enough developments. I mean, the most they do is offer you a credit card to spend on your crypto, which is cool, but that's already been priced in for the last 3.5 years. Next up, Rose. Now, Rose is an important one. This is specifically in tandem with the Harmony One ecosystem. I think I was waiting for a slightly bigger discount on this one. I don't think the current price is actually where I'd want. We'll delete these highs here. Double topped on previous all-time highs. You're currently down 25%. Yeah, that's a fat discount. I mean, you could start this now. I would love just a flat 30% discount here, right? You can fall back to these previous highs, especially where it began to mark up in price. 6%. Yeah, so Rose is probably something I'm going to buy like tomorrow or today. Rose is one of those I will buy right now, current price, and you just have a 5% dip and you put in your next order. So you put half order now, half order at 31 cents, 8-hour 200 EMA comes up. Beautiful. And you probably have, I want to say roughly like 3 months or something. About a month and a half here before you get to the top of this apex range, right? Normally high time frames, especially this high time frame, these will just blow off top through the top. And they had a Facebook partnership as well, I think. It's the last thing I read on Rose was a Facebook partnership. Next up, what is this, Wax P? I think it's Wax P. Yeah, so it's Wax P, not Wax. So this one is a cool, oh, this one, I mean, immediately you can see this. This looks like listing day. So whatever listing day was on Binance, produced the most supply. And then before you had your breakout, your confirmation, which is breaking the supply level. And then over time, you held it consistently. Now, unfortunately, this does look a little bit like BNB, which I love these setups because these patterns pretty much pay me the most out of any pattern in the market is when you get extremely high time frame SR flips and you've tested them multiple times, and then you can have the, if you get it, the downtrend break and then the parabolic move that subdues after, right? So with Wax, I'd say that you actually would probably want to wait for some type of breakout. I mean, you have 6% upside here and you're down, I want to say over 50%. Yeah, you're down 60%. You could start it now. Wax P is solid too. You could start this one literally right now. 6%, let's say your risk for the play is 6% and your potential profits are 26%. Right? You can even risk, we'll go lower time frame than this. Make it even simpler. your max risk on this play, produce, let's say 5% just from the lows, pull it up back to the highs, 22%. I'm fine with that. I don't think I'll buy this because it's only on KuCoin, I think. Or it's on Binance. I don't know if there's any leverage allowed, but this is the one that I would buy on KuCoin and put all of my metaverse tokens on KuCoin. All right, next one is Cardano. We'll speed through Cardano because I most likely will never become a buyer in this again. Because we were buying this at 20 cents. We were buying Cardano here. I think we made enough money on it, and you buy here. This is where you buy Cardano. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the Cardano maximalists and the believers, but you have been eternally downtrend, yeah, since September. And everyone knows this. Everyone knows that Cardano has been probably one of the worst performers. The literal, probably one of, I think it might be the top worst performer next to coins that got rug pulled and lost 100% value. Not a coin I buy. Not a coin I buy. But I'll play devil's advocate for the people that do want to buy. You're down 60% from all-time highs. How much more do you want? Right? Think about it like that. You got a 60% discount. I'll never touch it, and I will never buy it again. But you have the most volume on the daily frame at current price. You're due for a bounce. If you were to buy it here, you have a 20. I mean, the relief bounce on pretty much all of the coins across the market are 10 to 15 to 20% right now. I won't touch Cardano though. Lack of development in the project. I don't even think Cardano's smart contracts are active right now. I don't know how long those have been promised to us. CRV, also one of my top DeFi tokens, probably some of the best utility in the market as well. Particularly, I don't think it's the best buying. I don't think it's the best DeFi token you can buy right now. I think that it's having a lot of inflection at these top levels. I mean, this is all-time high that we hit. We were able to trade CRV from $1, $2. I mean, buy it again at 3, 4, 5. Got the all-time highs. Unfortunately, the market nuked. I don't know how the CVX DeFi market is doing right now. I think there's a lot of people pulling out. But I don't want it lower. I don't want it significantly lower for CRV. CRV wouldn't be a buy for me. Maybe 10 to 15% more. I'll get interested in it again. Not too interested in it at the moment. Not too interested right now. All right, next up. MATIC. One of my favorite. One of the coins that made me the most money in 2021. Literally. From 40 cents, 60 cents to $1, $2. Like, absolutely probably one of my favorite trades. We'll remove everything here. And it had one of the most beautiful setups as well. Coming up into all-time highs, retesting the all-time highs. And then as we know, January 3rd, market takes its dip. So MATIC's still very healthy on the daily. I think the weekly may look probably exactly the same. Still very healthy on the weekly. This is one of the coins too that is up. I think this is, 30, 40x on the year for 2021 at least. I think it's a buy, but I do think that there's probably a better discount you can get. This is at a point where I don't know if I'm exactly buying. I'm not sure how much I trust this trend because we are under a major key level here. Major highs were broken. You had a major volume sell-off as soon as it broke these highs. 2 days in a row, it tried holding it. The third day it gave way. Buyers weren't confident anymore. And we go to the next relative highs. Plus this lines up with the daily 200. I'm not too sure how another 15% drop in MATIC will happen and if this is possible. If it does, there's your buys. Right? Other than that, I'd probably wait for strength again. IOTA. And IOTA is one of the ones I personally bought as of recently. I think it's at the bottom of this range right now. Truly not too confident in this one either. Good thing it is, it's spot, hold spot for as long as you want. All you're taking, you have no derivative difference in price action. You're at the low point in the range. This is where you buy it. I don't even think I'm going to average down the position. If it comes back up to our entry, then I'll take it back off. But no price action here really tells me how confident I should be. There's no reclaim of key level here. There's no reclaim. The daily trend is broken. Not too much to be excited about here. Not something I'm buying. DUSK, well, DUSK, this could be an interesting one because I know DUSK is one that I don't have exposure to and one that has gone parabolic time and time again. I mean, it's still up 6x in the last year. I think I would want to buy at a level where the rest of the market was buying previously. A few buyers here, and this was the markup price. I'm not exactly sure. Again, you know, there's more dips to be had here. I don't know enough about DUSK and the fundamentals behind this token to still buy it above this range when I have a 50% drawdown about to occur. So unfortunately, my thesis for this one is I can't buy this one yet. This one's not ready for me to buy. Give me another nuke in price and maybe I'll think about it again. I wish I knew more about the project, so maybe that could build my confidence, but I don't know enough about it. So DUSK I'll set alert. I'll set an alert in the half-point range. If I get it, I'll buy it. So not a buy for me right now. And then Bitcoin dominance. So we'll finish off with Bitcoin dominance and why this is important to understand. So we have the 3-tap on Bitcoin. I mean, we've gone over this chart several times. There's certain key levels where the dominance of Bitcoin represents a key metric in the macro crypto field. So when you're at a 40% level on the total Bitcoin dominance, which means the total market cap for all of crypto, how much of this is denominated in Bitcoin? If it's near 40%, the generalization over the last 2.5 years, right? Over the last year, started at 2.5 years, has been you sell Bitcoin or sell all of your alts because the potential for the dominance to retake about 5 to 6% of its range is very likely. And this has happened time and time again. This is even happening right now. This happened in May, right? When May crashed, you had a 20% move to the upside for Bitcoin's dominance, right? When the whole market nukes, a lot of money outflows from Bitcoin in the majors, moves into the shitcoins like ICP SRM EOS, pumps them for a little bit, they take their gains, and then they move them back in the majors, and this is where the dominance rotation happens. And then again, September's dip, as I said, every time September, very bad for crypto. You get another 20% move to the upside, and again, slowly occurring. You have a weekly bullish engulfing, maybe another 18%. I say you probably get half this range. So you maybe get 8% more because over time, I've heard a lot of people say this, dominance can technically only go down nowadays because of the prevalence of stablecoins, which do take up a percentage of the crypto market cap now. All right, next up, I'm not sure how long the stream's been going on for. Oh, that was it. That was the last one. And then I want to go over why I think NFTs are booming right now. I mean, I literally just bought some of these guys a few days ago. What's it at right now? Let's refresh this. 0.4 ETH floor. It's incredible. I bought these at mint from someone posting about it on Twitter. Made a killing off it, but this is not something that you saw in October, November, December. One of the main reasons why NFTs are blowing up right now isn't because there's better art or isn't because there's better projects or that roadmaps are being fulfilled. There's one simple metric, and that 99% of the entire crypto market or NFT market is denominated in one aspect, right? There's one currency that NFTs are denominated in. What is it? What currency are all NFTs denominated? There's one transaction. You could use Solana sometimes. Sometimes you could use Polygon. I think Near's coming out with it. There's only one. The main one, right? If OpenSea has the most volume out of any NFT platform, it's Ethereum. It is all denominated in Ethereum. Your NFT is worth a percentage of it. Ethereum, 1 ETH, half an ETH, quarter of an ETH, it doesn't matter. When ETH drops in price, the potential for the numerator of what was previously denominated in Ethereum rises exponentially, right? If Ethereum outperforms their NFTs, the goal of market sentiment is to make more money. So they're going to remove money from their NFTs and move into Ethereum because it's currently outperforming the NFT market. Now, if Ethereum is nuking, if Ethereum is down 34% and every single month you're down roughly another 10%, Ethereum's not doing too hot. So you move into assets that are normally numerated in Ethereum, such as NFTs, so you can store your value of your Ethereum, so you don't have to put it in stable, so you can put it into another store value asset, such as NFTs. And if everyone's doing that, then there is more money in the NFT market for people to play around with, and there is more money to push projects forward. That's the only reason they're booming right now. I've talked about this several times, right? When Ethereum is down, you expect anything denominated or that was a previous numerator of Ethereum to boom. And I think people need like a visual representation of what I mean by this, right? If you have Ethereum, or you have ETH, and we have any aspect that's denominated in this, right? NFTs. And this is simple economics. If the denominator is outperforming, money's outflowing from NFTs into ETH. Basic market concepts, right? You don't want to be holding an asset that's underperforming, something that you could easily sell it for and gain the asset back, right? So as the numerator decreases in value, money outflows back into NFTs and booms once again. It has literally happened every single cycle. This has never not been the case, and this is how you perform, right? Is if ETH goes down in price, or at least if it's nuking, NFTs are booming because the money is moving out of Ethereum even faster than it was before and into NFTs even quicker. You can even see this on the daily chart, right? In September was insanely bullish, right, for all NFTs. During this period when Ethereum loses value, NFTs boom. And then you had I know a lot of you guys trade NFTs, then you had the long-term NFT bear market. From September all the way up until the end of November. Many people who I know on Twitter who just trade NFTs, this is like the death ball for them. Because ETH was outperforming. Ethereum was outperforming every single NFT. So there's no reason to hold it. You sell your NFT, you turn it into an asset that's outperforming, rinse and repeat. And then I expect the exact same thing right now. ETH underperforming. This is when NFTs are hot. As soon as ETH starts getting traction again, breaks out some key levels so we can null and void whatever bear market has been determined, and then NFTs will suffer once again. So those who trade NFTs, unless you're in blue chips, take profits fast. And then last but not least, right, the tips. These are in the Discord. If you guys haven't seen them before, we'll go over them right now. As the last piece of this, we'll see if we can get this formatted correctly. So a few tips before we go here. I appreciate everyone stopping in. A few of the main tips. If you're dumping from all-time highs, there's something that you missed, and that's taking profit into strength. Several times we do this. If you go back into Crypto Archive back in December, when things were hitting all-time highs, going 20, 30, 40% in a day, I'm taking profits on them. When we bought Atom at 29 to 24 to 22, and then Atom burst to 35, we take profits into that, right? Same thing with literally everything on the list we bought. Take profits into all-time highs. It is you as a trader are not here to predict the market, but make the most probable outcome for your money, right? And the most probable outcome when you're buying low, hopefully buying low, right? Or even at mid ranges, and you have days where your coin's going 10, 15%, the best probability is for it to reverse, right? Supply to take over. So you need to take profits into that potential. The next thing, stops to break even on green trades, never lose. We talked about this with BNB. We were profitable on BNB many times. Many times I had several $1,000s of profit. Even a 1 to 2% move, stops to break even if you're adversely risked that trade, if you were over leveraged, right? If you have too much margin in the trade, stops to break even. That's all you have to do. Once you're in profits, you'll never lose again. The event of you getting into a trade, having this trade go up 5, 10%, and letting it burn down -5 to 10% is probably the worst feeling you'll ever have, because you easily could have prevented that. Stops to break even. Also, I want to make sure that your emotions, your sentiment isn't based on any of your emotions, right? And this is a hard one because I also fall into this one when I have back-to-back months, right? Where I'm just going 90, 85, 100% complete with my win rate. Sometimes you can get overzealous, right? You push a little bit harder, press the gas a little bit more, right? You're putting a little bit more margin in the trades. You got to cut that. It's very hard to cut. I'll tell you, it's very hard to cut. Try to never be bear, never be bull, right? Stay neutral, trade the trend, such as the last 2 weeks. In a very bearish trend, shorts were the move. Try to not keep the sentiment on the emotions. Watch the charts, right? And that is why technical analysis is the strongest asset any of you guys can have. Number 4, never panic. Never panic. So over the entirety since 2009, when Bitcoin first started, the entirety of the market, every single dip gets bought back up and all-time highs are hit again. This happened last year. This happened the year before. This happened in 2017. This happened in 2014. This happened in 2013. This happened in 2010. Don't panic. Dips are a feature of the market nowadays, and it's something that you need to expect. So I want you guys to go check these out. I have links to all of these. I should probably put this in the Discord for you guys, or at least the link to this so you guys can go click on all of these. Once you go click on them, I have examples of us doing this. I have examples of us selling into strength, and the next week it absolutely dipping. Stops to break even. Every single trade, this is something you should be doing. Make sure sentiment's not based off emotions and just the chart, just like when we were selling Ethereum at all-time high because of the first one, which was the major wedge, right? Which was this. This is when we first started selling Ethereum. And although Ethereum is a very strong asset class and one of the strongest in the markets, we knew what the probability was of a dip, and the probability of it continuing to go up was very low here, right? So if you have a probability of less than 10% for a continuation, we have a probability of over 50% for a correction move, you know what to do. You start selling. All right, I think that actually wraps all of this up. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about. All the tips on how to deal with these dips, because this won't be the last one. This will not be the last one. We can't go up forever. We might continually dip here, and you can continually implement all of these strategies to continually be profitable month to month to month. It's okay to lose some of your profits from the previous month, but if you lose everything and you go negative from the previous month profits, then there's an innate problem. You have to work on that. All right, so first YouTube stream, I think it went well. It is an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. It's been great. What are we at right now? 1 hour and 18 minutes. Exactly. Went a little bit over. It's all right. I think we answered all you guys' questions. I did as many as the coins we could. I'm not going to do all of them. If you want me to check out another coin, hit me up on Discord. I'll post my thoughts on it, but I don't want the live stream to go out too much. But hey, appreciate everybody. Hopefully YouTube was a little bit better this time as a platform rather than using Discord. Zoom was pretty cool, but we'll start doing like a public live stream, doing a little bit more often as well. If there's anything here that you guys truly just don't understand, like, dude, I really don't understand what your Bitcoin sentiment was. I'm not sure exactly what to do, right? Ask me about it right now. Give me another 3 minutes. If you're like, hey, I don't understand what it means by Bitcoin dominance, or I don't understand what it means by, focusing on the strongest coins in the market. Like, why should we focus on the strongest coins? So any of these, seriously, there's no wrong questions. You guys are here for a reason. You guys are here to learn. Appreciate all you guys stepping through. Seriously, if you're, I know sometimes it can be embarrassing to ask quote unquote dumb questions. Hit me up in the DMs. DMs are always open. It's private. I'll answer anything. Sometimes I'll hop on a call with you if we really can't. If I really can't get the message across to you, I got you guys. So what is it? Saturday. It's at 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Guys, it's a Saturday. Go enjoy your night. No need to look at the charts anymore. Go hit the bars, club. Actually, it's COVID right now, so maybe don't do that. But have a great night. Love you guys all. See you in the next one.